Guess who's back? Back again. Theory's back. Alright, I'm done. Sorry, that was fucking terrible. Anyways, here we are again. Beerfield Fantasy Shots. Back to you again tonight. Dan Theory at Theory BFF to bring you guys the news that happened today. Not a whole lot. Just a couple big injury announcements. Looks like 3 of them. That'll just kind of shed light onto really the running back position going upward for 2 of these teams and another bad offensive team that got worse. You can follow my wonderful co-host Nick Sparts at Sparts Wow, with an S on a Z or with a Z on an S. Wow, I'm terrible. And then at Chris, and then Chris Hopper at Hot BFF with 2 P's. Yeah, go follow them. They're some crazy son of a bitches, as we all know and love. But we'll jump right into the news. First piece is the biggest piece, the piece that makes us sad, that makes us all cry, pour our 40s out, maybe drink our tears because that's how much we shed. As David Johnson is expected to miss 2 to 3 months for his wrist surgery. He was put on IR to return, which means that he will be back. He will be out for at least 8 weeks. This was a new rule that was put into place, I believe, last year or 2 years ago. I don't remember. It's so teams have a little more leeway with their injuries. David Johnson's on that. The Cardinals are hoping and expecting him back by Christmas time. The at least 8 weeks puts him back at week 9, 10, 9, mid-November-ish time. Obviously, the Christmas tag is way beyond that. Almost, it's a month by that point almost. I don't expect the Cardinals to be in the race unless they make some trades here. They have the defense, they have the quarterback, the receiving core, the coach. They just need the running back. I do expect them to make a move, not just a Chris Johnson signing or a DJ Foster signing, but they need something with a little more veteranship to him, and has done shit lately to be good. But what does this mean for fantasy football with what they have now? My last episode, I mentioned this. I talked about this in pretty much in detail of how I feel about the running back here now. They are going to be RBBC. Kerwin Williams is going to get the first crack at it. I like him the most in standard leagues. He's got a good matchup this week against Indy. I would prefer Andre Ellington in PPR, as he'll get more of the pass catching type of role. But all in all, though, I would avoid the shit out of this. You're going to pick up Kerwin Williams more so just because he is a new number 1 there. But that could change by next week. Watch list, guys. Because it's so early into the season, you're already going to have probably a better backup on your roster. At least I hope so. Moving on to sad Texans news. Per James Palmer via Twitter, Texans play CJ Fedorowicz on IR per Adam Schefter. I wrote double pers. Yeah, so the Texans lose their number 2 target, which just means more targets for Hopkins. I've already stated numerous times that I think he'll be in the least top 3 in targets. Right now, I think he'll be the number 1. He's number 1 right now. He has 16 last week. I expect him to have more, especially with Watson starting. And speaking of Watson starting, that transition, though, per Ian Rappaport reports, Watson is expected to be the starter for Thursday night's game against the Bengals. Yay! I guess he didn't look great against the Jaguars, but neither did Tom Savage. To note, Watson's first drive led him to a touchdown to your favorite heavily targeted receiver, Hopkins. I own Hopkins in all league. I love Hopkins, at least in terms of targets for this year. I go against the grain for a lot of experts. I don't think he'll be a bust. And this just means that I think as a whole, though, the Texans are going to go into more of a run-first type of offense. They want to use their rookie running back Foreman more. I think Irvin earned some pass-catching duty. And we've seen in the past with Lamar Miller, when he doesn't have to be the true workhorse, the true bell cow, see those 25 plus touches, he can actually be effective. And with a rookie quarterback at the helm, especially a guy like Watson who's had some accuracy issues, and just because he's a rookie, you want to protect that. They have a great defense. Secondary is a little but they still have a great pass rush. J.J. Watt should be back. They still have Clowney. These guys should ball out. But in terms of for fantasy wise, it's just this is more great news for Hopkins. Quality targets are always going to be at a premium for him because he is the only option there with never having a great quarterback. But we've seen him produce a lot 2015 with bad quarterbacks. Moving on to news that makes me sad because it hurts me so because it's about the Ravens. Perny Rappaport reports that Danny Woodhead is expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks now. Earlier today, Adam Schefter reported it being 4 to 6. About 8:30 tonight, it got reported it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks. Danny Woodhead is 33 years old. He's not a young buck. He's not going to all of a sudden be healthy, which means that Buck Allen should step into his role. Joe Flacco also mentioned that Michael Campanaro could be a replacement for him. I don't know why. I expect them to see slot roles, but they may try this against Cleveland this week. So just keep that in mind. I like Wes more than Buck Allen, at least for this week. Wes looked like the better back last week, but Buck Allen had more shares, more carries, just because of game script and the fact that Buck is probably going to be the pass catching back to at least immediately replace Danny Woodhead. How this looks going forward, you'll have to wait and see. But I had mentioned in the waiver show that Buck Allen was a top ad for me. Don't blow your fab on him. Please, for the love of God, don't blow your fab on him. But this does make him a must-own. Not just for Woodhead owners or West owners, but for all owners. If you need a floor running back, Buck Allen could be a great play this week against a Cleveland. Looked great against Bell, but Bell was a little bit rusty, not playing at all. Obviously, Buck Allen isn't Bell, so we'll see. I mean, this is a wait and see type of situation, but Buck Allen should be the guy that benefits the most from this. But don't disregard Flacco's comments about Michael Campanaro. Those are the three biggest news of the day. Like I said, there's not a whole lot. We're going to move quickly on to Colts news. I almost said Washington. Matt Jones winds up on their practice squad. Doesn't get picked off of waivers. Doesn't really mean anything. Maybe he gets picked up from Arizona. Who the fuck cares? Wasn't terribly inefficient with the Redskins. Just had a lot of fumbling problems. Moving on to the Eagles. Kicker news, because kickers do matter. Fuck you if you say otherwise, bitch. The Eagles have put kicker Caleb Sturgis on IR, and they have made Jake Allen their starter. Not Jake Allen, wow. Jake Elliott. Excuse me. Jake Elliott, their starter. Fucking, I'm so haunted by Jake Allen from the Wild playoffs. The kickers for the Eagles have typically been pretty good. I mean, they've always been an offense that's been able to produce points, or at least been able to put themselves in a position to kick field goals. They don't have the greatest place to kick at, but opportunity. So he is a intriguing spot start. Kickers are, if it's not Justin Tucker or Gostowski or just Tucker, Matt Bryant's in there as well. You do typically just start a dome kicker with a good offense or just a good matchup. You're going to be fluctuating kickers every week almost if they're not one of the top tier kickers. If there is such a thing, there is. Trey Tuck's on it, number one, baby. But that's it. I spent way too much time on kickers. Last news. The Colts are considering making Jacoby Brissett, Jacoby Brissett the Week 2 starter against the Cardinals. He can't be worse than Scott Tolzien because holy shit did he look bad. I don't really blame him because the offense as a whole looked terrible. But what does this do to guys like Moncrief, Hilton, and Doyle, the top three target guys in this offense? It's a wait and see for me. Brissett could be better than Tolzien. He can't be much worse, so you got to expect him to be a little bit better. But you got to just see how things happen, how things play out. Hilton will almost always be a starter, just because you drafted him as your starter, and you drafted him for the most part knowing what you're going to get without Andrew Luck. I still don't start Moncrief. I don't start Moncrief until I see Luck back, or I see something from him. Doyle, he started off okay against the Rams, but quickly they quickly went away from him. It's a wait and see. You drafted all these guys. Just hold on to them. I still love Doyle in the red zone, and Luck will come back at some point this year and dominate. It seems to be longer than we hope, but it looks to be the case for right now. That's all the news I have for you guys today. Tomorrow you will have Nick Sparks. That's Nick Sparks with a Z, not an S. Tomorrow talking about start and sits. We mentioned it on the podcast. Who our starts of the week and sits of the week are. Nick will go more in depth with what he thinks are good starts and sits this week. Please like and subscribe, leave reviews, comments on our YouTube channel, iTunes, podcast, anywhere you can find us. Please let us know how we're doing, guys. We're doing this, for you. We love talking fantasy football, and we love getting better at talking about fantasy football. And we want to hear from you guys. So please leave us reviews on iTunes. We love that we're in the top 20 search engine for on fantasy football on iTunes, but we want to be higher. We want you guys to help us get us there. You get us there, we're able to do more and give you guys more in terms of cool perks and packages when things really kick up for us. So thank you guys who've been following us for a while, shouting out on us on Twitter, asking us questions, listening to these YouTube channels. Hopefully these help out, kind of condense our news and our fun segments into more of a easy digestible piece. But that's all I got. And it was, like I said, you'll see Nick tomorrow, and I will catch you guys back again on Thursday. Peace.